Okay, good morning, everyone. Just to say that because I know some of you that come to these live sessions, you were used to previously interacting on Zoom. So please feel free in the live sessions to just say something in the live chat. You can say hi to each other. Right now, there's not that many people here, but if you ever want to interact in the live sessions, please feel free to do so, just through the chat. And yeah, so maybe people don't want to interact that early. Okay. So we are going to do what we've been doing. We start with the centering and move into some quiet meditation, and then we will move into some wake up yoga. So same as always, please find a comfortable seated position to start this morning. And you can sit on the floor, on a block, on a bolster, just whatever you need. And then you're going to just inhale and roll the shoulders up and exhale them down and back. And then again. And one more. And just sit up tall, grounding through the sits bones, lifting through the crown. Relax your hands either facing up for receiving energy or down on your legs for grounding energy. And close your eyes. And take a few deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And then once you've sighed out a few times, just come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. And just notice what your breath has to tell you about your experience this morning, if anything. It might not have a lot to tell you. And then I'd like you for a moment to just intuitively become aware without placing any judgment on what you notice and without being carried away by anything. But I'd like you to take a moment to notice intuitively if you tend to have a general state that you move through life. And of course, we all have multiple feelings and ways of moving through things, but do you tend to be anxious, fearful, happy, accepting? And it can be many things. But just intuitively notice what comes to your mind. And take a moment to just process that how we feel life, how we engage with life, comes from the lens with which we see it and with which we feel it. So, someone that's really anxious compared to someone that's really happy or laid back, and it's not that you can't be anxious and happy, but again, these are generalizations. They're going to experience the same situation differently, and it's not that one is right or wrong. A lot of it is programming that happens even before we're 7 years old. So what I would like to invite you to do this morning, and of course, you are always welcome to use whatever meditation practice resonates for you. But I'd like you to just think about the idea of how you move through life. And if you move through life really easily, really joyfully, that's so beautiful. And you maybe just want to continue to affirm that this is how you see the world. If you feel a bit more stressed, which of course we can all feel stressed, or if you feel a bit more fearful or anxious, particularly in the current times, maybe take this time to come into an affirmation mantra. And you can use any mantra that resonates for you, but it might be I am safe, I am whole, I am just right as I am, or I am perfect as I am. Um, Patterns that we take on from very young ages, because they go into the subconscious mind. It's a bit like the programs on a computer. They can be hard to dislodge. But one of the ways of doing that actually is just repeating something over and over and over again until you rewrite the program. So if there's something that you would like to start rewriting, for how you live your life, just set up an affirmation mantra this morning that you can start with and say over and over and over again. Because when we go into meditative states, we actually have theta waves or theta brain waves. And these are actually the same brain waves that children under the age of 7 pretty much live their whole lives in. Basically, kids under the age of 7 are living a very hypnotic life, which is quite incredible. Which is why they don't have to read books about how to interact with humanity. They're just observing, they're just being there, and they're programming. So, like I said, if there's a program that you would like to start to rewrite this morning, let's do that. So, we're going to take a few minutes and come into our quiet meditation. And as always, I just really want to invite you to follow the thoughts, or sorry, to follow your mantra or your breath. And if thoughts find you, just allow them to float on by. They will find you, of course they will. You're alive, but just keep reaffirming your mantra, or just keep coming back to your breath, and we'll just play with that this morning. So, getting the timer set up now. Okay, let's begin. start to bring some movement back into your body. And just notice how that went. And again, it's just noticing, it's not judging or labeling, but if you found something helpful, maybe file that away as a helpful practice or tool. And yeah. Okay. So we are going to start from our backs this morning, which I always feel is a little dangerous first thing in the morning because I'm always afraid we're all going to just nod back off to sleep. Okay, so I'd like you to start to come down onto your back. And when you come down, take a moment to really just stretch. Oh. Okay. So once you've had a stretch out, you have a couple options. You can either bend your knees with your feet at a hip distance stance, or you can extend the legs out with the feet at a hip distance stance, as long as that feels okay to your lower back. All right, let's take an inhale, roll the shoulders up, and exhale them down and back. And again. And one more. And reach the arms up into the sky and ground through the shoulders. Bend the elbows, take hold of opposite elbows in opposite hands. So most of you are probably familiar with this. So we're going to hold the hands or around the elbows, making a cradle. And then we exhale, draw the right elbow down, let the left shoulder lift. Oh, so we just start to wake up and stretch that left shoulder. And I just said most of you are familiar with this, but then I suppose if anyone manages to wander onto this from YouTube, and you're not one of my regular clients, then you won't be familiar with this necessarily. Okay, and then we inhale, we come back through center, and exhale over to the other side. And then inhale, take it through center. Reach your arms up into the sky, interlace your fingers, point your index fingers and your thumbs, and then exhale, draw your arms down to the sides of your head. Take a long stretch there. And sorry guys, if your knees are bent, if you can extend them out here just so you can fully extend. So we take a long inhale, like we're being pulled from the wrists and pulled from the ankles. And then exhale, slide and walk the shoulders to the right so that you are opening up through the left side of your torso, and just really breathe into that left side. And then inhale, slide and walk back through center. Take a long stretch. And exhale, slide and walk to the other side. So you're opening up. And really just breathe into that right side. And then inhale, slide and walk back through center. Take a nice long stretch. And then exhale, take your arms out to a T. Now I want you to flex your feet. And so you're grounding through your heels. Inhale, lift the right leg halfway up to 45 degrees. Now, if this feels like it goes into your lower back, or if it just feels like too much this morning, then I want you to bend your left knee, placing your left foot on the ground. So that will ease off any of the tension or strain there. Otherwise, if you want it slightly more challenging, keep that right leg or keep that left leg extended. And then inhale, lift that right leg up to the sky. We flex that foot and hold it up toward the ceiling. Straighten it out as best you can. Engage with your abdomen, your lower abs. And then exhale, bend the right knee into the chest, float the fingers up, interlace the fingers over that right shin. Flex the foot, draw the knee to the chest. Relax the head, relax the shoulders, and just sigh it out. Okay. Unwind your fingers, take them back to a T, and I want you to take that right leg back to 45 degrees. Now, I want you to lift your left leg up to meet your right at 45. Now, if you feel like you're starting to arch through the back when you're doing that, so that your lower back is no longer pressing on the ground and you're struggling there, then I want you to bend your knees. So then you're going to bend the knees in line with the hips, creating that nice femoral stack, okay? Otherwise, we keep the legs at 45, but again, we're really engaging with the core. So if you put your hands in your belly, you should sort of feel that engagement there, okay? And then arms at a T, really ground through your shoulders, and then roll into your right hip, but let your left hip lift, but keep your left shoulder down. And then inhale, come back through center, and exhale over to the other side. And this is true if you have the knees bent or if you have the legs extended. So we just take a few of these side to side, saying good morning to the abs. Okay, take it one more. And then take it back through center and release the right leg down. We're going to come back to this. So now we keep that left leg at 45, or with that right leg again, you can either bend it or straighten it. Breathe. And take that left leg up to the sky, flex the foot, try to hold up the ceiling there. And then exhale. Bend that left knee into the chest, interlace the fingers over the shin, flex both feet, draw that knee as close as is comfortable. And just take a moment to sigh it out. And then unwind your fingers and take your arms actually down to your sides and let that left leg or left foot, just come down, bending that knee. And we are going to come back to that core move, but add on to it in a moment. But before that, I want you to then bend your right knee and walk both feet up toward your bottom as close as is comfortable. Square the toes forward at hip distance, and we're going to come into our usual bridge warm up. So we take the arms to the sides of the body. We press through the feet. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the pelvis, lift the arms. And exhale, release. And again. And take 3 more. And just move with your breath. And draw your arms down. And start to press through your feet. And then inhale, lift the hips, lift the pelvis. And then interlace your fingers under your body. Walk the shoulder blades in so that the shoulders are hugging the spine. And you're just going to squeeze and lift there. And we're just going to breathe into the bridge. That's it for right now. Try to avoid letting the bum drop, or likewise letting the knees go outward. Knees aren't squeezing together, of course, but legs are squeezing like you're holding a block between your legs, and you're lifting that up to the sky. Okay. And then unwind the arms, unwind the shoulders, take the back down to the earth, and then just draw the knees in toward the chest. Take a moment to sigh out. And now I'd like you to take the arms back to a T, and then either lift the legs so the calves are coming parallel to the ground and the knees are stacked with the hips. What we're not doing is drawing the knees into the belly or the chest, because that takes out the ab work. We want the ab work, okay? And then if you want to take that further, again, you're going to take the legs out to 45. So you should really feel that engagement of the abdominal muscles. Now, again, we're going to roll from one hip to the other, but then we're going to add on. So now I want you to create circles, and you can do that with the legs bent. So start with some smaller circles. So you just roll down, if you can, through 45 degrees and then up through 90. And you're just rolling around and around, keeping the shoulders grounded. If you want to make it harder, you take the legs lower. So just make the circles bigger, basically. And keep that going. And go the other way. And take one more. Okay. Take it back through center, and then I want you to take it up to 90. Flex your feet. Try to hold up the ceiling so you're getting that long stretch through the backs of the legs. And then exhale, bend your knees, take the soles of your feet down to the ground. And just sigh it out. Take one more breath here. Okay. Draw the arms to the sides of your body again. Walk your feet up toward your bottom as close as is comfortable. Ground through the feet, square your toes forward. And we inhale, we lift the hips, we lift the pelvis. And we interlace the fingers under the body and we walk the shoulder blades in. And come up into your bridge and just breathe through that bridge. And then play with lifting the heels. And then take the heels back down. And actually, I want to do some deeper breathing and some more dynamic movements this morning here. So we're going to roll into the outside edges of the feet, letting the knees tip out. And the bum will drop down a bit, but you want to keep pressing through the feet rather than let the bum just fall into the hands, okay? So you press into the outside edges of the feet. We butterfly the legs. We take an inhale. And then we exhale out the mouth and we drive the legs back up into bridge. So it's a... And it's with control. Keep it going. Five more. And last one. Lift it up. And I want you to unwind your shoulders, but then bring your hands under your lower back. So you just roll the shoulders and the elbows out, but bring your palms down and then let your lower back rest on the backs of your hands. And it should feel supported, comfortable, not too uncomfortable. The idea is that you're just providing the lower back a little bit of extra support. Okay. Take the legs, extend them out. You might realize what's coming. Okay, and we're going to flex the feet. And we're going to take an inhale here. And then engage with your core. Pull both legs up toward 90 degrees, okay? Inhale. Take the legs down to a low hover rather than all the way back to the floor. Exhale. Take them back up, and you can exhale out the mouth. If you're not quite comfortable with the hands, adjust them where they need to be. And then we go for this. Inhale. Exhale. And then take them up. And then imagine that there's a wall behind you. It's this one. And there's a button on the wall that you want to press with your feet. And you're going to lift and down and lift and down. And you lift through the legs. You're not throwing your body around because we want to protect the neck. So throwing your body around is not going to be nice for your neck. So you lift and lift. A few more. And one more. Okay. Let's see how much time I have left to torment you. Okay, so now I want you to take the legs down. So, assuming most of you are my clients, you know that this is pretty much one of my favorite core sequences. So, we're going to take the legs down to a low hover, and we tuck the chin into the chest, and we look up at the toes, and then we cross country ski up and down. And take little baby crisscrosses. Okay, gently release. Unwind the arms, unwind the legs, sigh it out. Take one more breath there. Okay. And draw the knees into the chest. Hug the legs. And then cross your ankles. Bring your right hand to your right knee, your left to your left. Tuck the chin in towards the chest and very gently rock up to a seated position. I think I still have bed head, even though I brushed my hair. Okay, so now we're going to take the hands and actually, hold on, let me just check. Let's actually just take a nice inhale with the arms. And then exhale, bow down in front of the heart. Take the hands down to the earth. And then we roll the hands back to the heart. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bow. Take a couple more. Okay. Take it all the way back up to seated. And take a moment just to sigh out there. And draw the hands together into prayer in front of the heart. And if you would like to set an intention for how you move through this day, just go ahead and set that intention now. And it might be just to keep repeating your affirmation to yourself throughout the day whenever you notice. It might be the energy with which you want to approach this day on earth. Just find what's right for you. set that intention in your palms, in your heart, in your mind. And gently bow, honoring your body, your light, your practice on this earth. Thank you all so much for coming this morning. We're back here tomorrow at 7:15. If you are based in Oxford, there is yoga at the community centre in South Oxford tonight at 7 p.m. So yeah, feel free to book onto that through my website. Otherwise, hopefully see you tomorrow and have a really lovely day. Thank you so much. See you later.